Hello, is this Marlon Sanders? Yes. I was just wondering, can you please tell me if there are secrets of profits in the info product business? Well, sir, I'm covering that on my new YouTube video. Just go to youtube.com/Marlon Sanders and you'll find the video right there. Oh, hi everyone. How are you? Yeah, I know that was corny. That was cheesy. I'll admit it. How are you? Happy Friday to you. This is a Friday when I'm recording this. The info product business, are there secrets to it? You know, I never get used to this. The camera is up here, but I got to look up at it, which is not right. But if I lower the camera, you see the top of my computer screen, which is jacked up. But my screen is here. So if I'm looking at my computer screen, which I often do for whatever reason, I'm not looking at you at the camera. Yeah, I know, that's crazy. So here's the deal. There are secrets to profits in the info product business. Now, some people say there are no secrets. And there's some truth of that. It's what I've done a couple sessions, what Alex Hormozy said, that advanced people just scale the basics. Having said that, there are secrets of big profits, small profits in the info products business, potentially. Nothing's guaranteed. Entrepreneurs are people that take additional risk for the additional opportunity for profit. Anybody guarantee that if you go in business for yourself, you're going to make money? I mean, come on now. All right. Let's talk about the info product business. Secret number one is you got to be able to find out what people want. So I'm going to put this up here for my secret number one. Step one, you got to find out what people want. Now, I use a method called the 12 product survey. But there are other ways to do it. You can just go to groups and like Facebook groups. Find out what people are complaining about. The flip side, the opposite of what they're complaining about is, guess what? It's what they want. Everybody loves to complain. It's hard to get people to tell you what they want, to be quite honest. What do you want in an X? That you get this blank stare. You see these people that say this all the time. Well, always ask your customers, well, what are you looking for in an X? And if you've ever been in sales much, you'll know this is the response you get. Well, I really don't know what I'm looking for, Marlon. Why don't you tell me? But if you tell them now, what are your complaints about X? Have a seat. Let me get you a Coke. We'll talk about this for a couple hours, right? All right. So that'd be secret number one. Now let's go to secret number two. Secret number two is you're selling an intangible. Info products are intangibles, which means what? You can't touch it. You can't touch the benefit. You can't taste it. You can't feel it. You can't smell it. That's why it's called an intangible. It's not tangible. So what do you have to be able to do? You have to be able to do something that's honestly a little challenging. You have to learn. It's a potty mouth word. People don't want to learn. I apologize. It's the truth. You have to learn how to create perceived value, the perception of value for an intangible. Perception of value for an intangible. You say, so I got to create value for something that people can't see, can't taste, can't touch, can't feel. Yeah. That's right, and that's how you're going to get paid. Well, Marlon, how in the heck am I going to do that? Which brings us to step number three. The secret of creating perceived value is your sales copy. I mean, it's your offer and your sales copy that articulates the offer. In other words, it is the words you say, and to some extent, the graphics and presentation of those words that creates the perception of value. People do not buy an info product or service. They buy the perception of value of the info product. That's why things like scarcity increase price. That's why things like testimonials and social proof increase price. So it's your ability to write sales copy or speak on a video sales center or speak on a webinar that creates the perceived value, that creates the perception of value. Now, by the way, if you're new to my channel or you haven't done it yet, there's a bell icon. I don't know where the little stupid bell is somewhere. If you click it, you get notification when I go live, because I used to always go live at a certain time every morning. I haven't been able to do that recently, which bugs me, but that's just at the moment kind of like how things are rolling. So if you want to catch these live streams, you got to click that bell. Otherwise, Facebook ain't going to notify you. You ain't going to know the live stream's going on, and I'm going to come on here and give you the nugget that could change your life, and you're going to miss it because you never click the freaking bell icon. So just click it. All right. Enough said about that. I'm checking here to see if we got any chat. I don't think we got chat. Let me see. I don't see any chats. All right. So the secret is the perception of that. So to recap our 3 steps, you got to be able to find out what people want. You got to be able to create perceived value. The secret of creating the perceived value is your sales copy or your sales letter. Now, there are several basic steps in your sales copy or sales letter. Number 1, you have your headline, which is the articulation of the big promise. Typically, there's different ways to write headlines, but typically it's a big, fat, juicy promise, and you're articulating it to people. Then number 2, you have the opening paragraph that elaborates on that headline. If you've not read Tested Advertising Methods by John Caples, I highly recommend it. I highly recommend you get the original and not one of the revised, updated, because the original is just better in my opinion. But he will make you fall in love and show you the importance of headlines and how to open copy. I think he does it great, even though it's really, really freaking old book. All right, so you open up, you expand on that headline. Now you typically will go into your story or an articulation of the problems that your product's going to solve. Then you go into the overall big picture solution. Then you go into the details of the solution, sometimes bullet points, sometimes module by module by module, explanation of what they're going to get if it's an info product. And then you go into the price, justification of the price, the guarantee, the bonuses, reason for acting now, that sort of thing. Sometimes you talk about why you're willing to sell this, why you're selling it, because people wonder, why is he selling this? I mean, you know. So that's the short version of how you write a sales letter that gets people to perceive value. In the big picture, you're meeting typically an unmet need, or you're helping people get stuff a lot faster, simpler, or easier. Right? That's like the big picture of what you need to be doing. So like before you ever write that sales letter, and before the offer is like all the stuff that surrounds the product, but the most important thing is just, what does this product do for what's in the big picture? What are you promising people? Typically a product takes people from A to B. Like you buy an apple chopper. I don't think apple choppers exist, but you know, one of those vegetable things. And, you know, over here's the apple. You throw it on the little slicer dicer. You go psh, like this. And the B point is the apple all sliced up. So you're taking people from A to B. And your product is the vehicle that takes them from A to B. Travis Sago is fond of saying they're on Hell Island and your product services the vehicle that takes them over to Heaven Island. It's a good way to articulate. I talk about the Red Sea. There's the promised land, that's point B. The Red Sea is all the obstacles that they feel that they've got to overcome, that your product helps them to overcome, and where they are now is at the bottom of the mountain of which the guru that taught you climbed and got the tablets that revealed all the knowledge to them. They passed the tablets on to you, and now you're passing the information, secrets on those tablets on other people that'll help them get across the Red Sea of obstacles over to the freaking promised land, which I believe, unless I'm mistaken, is where you want to be, right? So these are the steps I just gave you are the steps that you go through to create the perception value. But the most important part is, are you meeting an unmet need? Are you helping people do stuff a lot faster, a lot easier? Like, you just can't be like, well, we're improving it. We're making it a little bit faster. It's a little bit easier. It's a little bit different than the other products. Now, if every product's almost the same and you have a little bit difference, that little difference can be a big difference. But typically, you need a big difference, a big improvement. For example, Tesla cars. Why are they popular? They were the first cars that drove them freaking selves. That's a big difference, right? In your product or service, you're actually trying to get that wow. That thing that's really a big enough difference that goes, well, darn it, I guess I'll buy this instead of buying the thing over there from, whoever. Whoever. It could be anyone. It could be, Sally, whoever, Billy, Johnny, Alfred. We don't know who else they're thinking about buying from. But you got to have a really, really, really freaking compelling reason for them to buy. You say, Marlon, let me tell you something, dog. I get that, but what's my compelling reason? I don't know my compelling reason. I can't find it. I looked at the product. I looked under it. I looked over it. I looked beside it. I thought about it day and night. I got no point of difference. Well, if you got no point of difference, first of all, you might ought to go back to like reconstructing the product or rethinking it. I mean, you start out the product with what's my point of difference going to be? What's the unique selling proposition going to be? But beyond that, I'm going to tell you the big secret. I'm going to tell you right now the big secret. Now, tomorrow, as I'm doing this training, getting ready to do my 13 greatest secrets of marketing, which will be tomorrow. If you're watching this on replay, and you probably will be, it'll maybe be available for sale. All right. But sometimes I close them down. I don't know. Maybe it'll be available for sale. But here's the deal. Here's a big secret. I have a lot of secrets. Here's a big secret. Your point of difference is not in the product. It's in something you just dream up. You dream up, what's my point of difference going to be? And you make that the point of difference. You add stuff to it, you change it, reconstruct it. It's an info product, so it's very pliable, right? You can change it any way you want. You can add bonus modules to it. You can do whatever. You can do whatever. It's a blank freaking slate you get to paint on. You just make it up. Well, it's fast. I'm going to make it faster. I'm going to make it simpler. I'm going to make it easier. I'm going to make it bigger. I mean, the limitations endless. You can differentiate an attribute. So Stephen Pierce one time, one of my favorite differentiators on an attribute was Stephen Pierce. He had a product called The Whole Truth. It's about internet marketing. The Whole Truth. What a great differentiator on attribute. I created an attribute a real long time ago called the Evergreen System, and I did it for Tinu because she had these incredible, unbelievable evergreen traffic methods. I thought she was freaking brilliant. Still is brilliant. And, and I created that concept for her product. And it was great. Now, a lot of people have done Evergreen since, but as far as I know, we were probably the first people that did Evergreen in a really strong, compelling, powerful, convincing sales copy, which is what creates the perception of value. If you can't get people to perceive value, they ain't going to give you money. Now, I call it dollars for dimes. And it's an easy sell. You can sell products pretty much all day long as long as you sell dollars for dimes. In other words, they get $1 of value, and they only got to pay you a dime for it. Dollars for dimes. Now, I got that idea originally from Dick Kennedy, I think, who called it money at a discount. I'm selling money at a discount. Ben Feldman was the greatest life insurance salesman ever, according to Guinness World Book of Records, or at least for many years. And the way he would do it, he would walk into a man's office, and he would have like a crap load of $100 bills in a briefcase, probably like $10,000 in there or something. And he would have 3 pennies on top of it. He'd open his briefcase and, sir, one day you're walking out the door and the tax man's going to walk in the door, and he's going to want a lot of money, and he's going to want it now, or he's going to break apart this business. Everything you thought about, dreamed out, worked for all your entire life is all wrapped up in these bricks and stone and steel in this business. It'll be dissolved overnight. You're going to need a lot of money, but see this? I can sell you all of these $100 bills for a penny or 2 each. Or $1,000 bills for a penny or 2 each. How many do you want to buy? That was his pitch. Dollars for pennies, because it was life insurance, right? Most of us are attempting to sell dollars for dimes. Now, you say, well, Marlon, I'm not selling a biz opportunity. I ain't selling make money. Come on, dog. Well, it's the same thing. You got to be selling $1 of value for a penny or 2. Otherwise, whatever you're selling, I don't care what you're selling. Right? I don't care what you're selling. I mean, a church. A church has got to provide 10 times the value that you can get watching a TV preacher. Otherwise, they're going to stay at home and watch Rev Ike reruns. You can't lose with the stuff I use. That was good stuff. I love Rev Ike. So, you can look him up on YouTube. He had 16 or 17 Rolls Royces, right? It's not the love of money that's the root of all evil. It's the lack of money. Yeah, the theologians do not like that statement. But, yeah, not saying it's accurate, but I'm saying it was funny. All right. So anyway, you got to sell dollars for dimes, dollars of value for dimes. And if you're not doing that, the fundamental thing you got ain't going to work. So you got that, and now you got to articulate in a way that people perceive it, because you can have the value. You can have the value. But if you can't articulate it into a sales letter formula, into sales copy, they ain't buying. Now, I own salesletters.com, which I'm not doing crap with at the moment. I also own salescopy.com. That be how long I've been doing this. I bought those way the heck back. We're going to put them up for sale, by the way. If you're interested in that, they're thousands of dollars, but you can contact me and I'll put you in touch with the broker. I'm also selling rankonline.com, which is another domain I've had since antiquity. But the sales copy is what you do that gets people to value it. But even if you're great at sales copy, that fundamental underlying thing has got to be dollars for dimes. Now, but you got to know how to articulate. I tell you where you can get a really great, learn a lot. Zig Ziglar wrote Secrets of Closing the Sale. Yeah, I know. Oh, Marlon, that's old school. Oh, Zig Ziglar, that oh yeah, he was old school. Yeah, dog, he was old school. But let me tell you something. When you read in there his pitch on how he sold, I think it's probably Salad Master Cookware, I don't know. How he sold it, and like I think he probably set records selling it and everything. That's a masterpiece. Because in there, he has a pitch that shows how this really high-end, expensive cookingware is actually worth it, because it saves you 10 times or far more than the money you're paying for it. And it is a masterful pitch. So he had that. You see, the cookingware is just cookingware. Sometimes it's up to the imagination of the marketer. That's why there's a chapter in Think and Grow Rich about it. And if you've not bought the Russell Brunson offer where he's selling a whole package of stuff about Napoleon Hill that he bought, he spent almost $3 million buying original Napoleon Hill stuff. You should get that offer. But Napoleon Hill is a whole chapter in Think and Grow Rich about imagination. That's why, because sometimes it's your imagination that creates the 10x value. You just figure out how to sell the 10x value. That's what Zig Ziglar did with cookingware. I mean, it's cookingware, it cooks soup. Man, I'm sure it was good cookingware. But he was able to articulate how it could save you crap loads of money, and it was a beautiful pitch. If you've not read Ben Feldman, greatest life insurance salesman ever, he has 2 books on Amazon, and they're 2 of the greatest books about selling you will ever read in your entire life. I guarantee it, because Ben Feldman made selling insurance sound like poetry, and I kid you not. He would work like hundreds of hours on one sentence or one small little paragraph of articulation about insurance, and it was gorgeous and it was beautiful. And insurance is probably the biggest intangible there ever is to sell, far more than info products, because info products can help you now. Insurance only helps you when you're dead. So for him to be able to articulate the value of that, no man ever dies at the right time, always at the wrong time. One day, Mr. Jones, you're going to walk out that door and you're never going to walk back in. No one has a lease on life. Do you, sir? Did God give you a lease on life? No man has a lease on life. He would ask disturbing questions, right? One day you walk out that door and the tax man's going to walk in that door, and he's going to want, according to your size of your estate, $50 million. Do you have the $50 million to give him? Where are they going to get it from? They're going to liquidate everything you ever dreamed of, everything you ever worked for. Is that what you want? All your dreams overnight liquidated? That's the way he sold insurance. It was gorgeous. It was beautiful. It was poetry. You've never, ever, ever in your entire life read anything like Ben Feldman. He was maybe the greatest salesman ever. because there is no product harder to sell than insurance. There just isn't. If you've ever tried to sell life insurance, it's the hardest freaking thing in the world to sell. And Ben Feldman was probably, now there's salesmen now that have sold more, but inflation and everything, right? I believe Ben Feldman is the greatest life insurance salesman ever. I don't know if anyone will ever be greater than him. And if you read his books, you will learn how to create the perception of value with your words. Like I said, I have a course on it, salescopy.com. But read Ben Feldman if you really fall in love with the art of selling, the art of creating value because that's what you got to learn to do. That's what we do. You get that? If you can't create perceived value, you're never going to sell your stuff for jack. If you cannot create perceived value, but all it is understanding how to do it. It's learnable. You just got to understand how to do it. And I'm just going to close with this. If you will go and look up YouTube channel, Russell Brunson, The Stack. I'll tell you what, I'll just go look it up for you. I'll just show it to you. Because this is a thing of beauty. Now you may like Russell, you may not like Russell, you may not know who Russell Brunson is. I have no idea. He founded ClickFunnels. But he had at a seminar, he taught this thing called the stack, which is how you create value. And let's see if I can find the video here where he teaches it. So here he's teaching Secret 11, the stack slide. He's talking about it, but that's not the video I want. Oh my God, here's me talking about his linchpin book. Wow, 653 views. Congratulations, Marlon Sanders. All right. Dang it, Russell Brunson, the stack. A lot of people are talking about it, but you really got to see. Okay, let me go. Let me just do this. Let's go actually to his channel and just search his channel for stack. Because this one presentation he made is just this channel. The heck he doesn't. Says has no content matching stack. Yes, it's called the freaking Russell Brunson stack. Let me just try that. Oh, this is Russell Brunson Daily. Does he have more than one freaking... Maybe he has more than one channel. Russell Brunson. I don't know what Russell Brunson Daily is. That's maybe his shorts. Okay, crap. I hate that. Okay, so now we have to find not his daily channel, but his freaking regular channel. Where is it, Russell? What the heck did you do with it? Marketing secrets. Okay. Oh my God. I may not have time to do this on, this used to be really easy to find, but he's got things all complicated now. Okay, it's probably in marketing. I'm going to search this, and then if we can't find it on the marketing secrets channel, I'll just give up. Y'all can go search for it, but here. This is why you should be in my coaching. I teach this stuff. We go into it in depth. All right, Russell Brunson. Or get my newsletter. I have my MMM newsletter. All right. How to make an irresistible offer. Russell Brunson stack. Okay, well, I can't freaking find it. Great. But if you search long enough on YouTube until, you're bleary-eyed and you're falling asleep, then you will find his stack video. He gave it at a seminar in Nashville, and it's got the really big, it's probably $100,000 stage set just for the stage design with neon lights and everything. It's so cool. And he teaches the stack. And it's so awesome. It's really, really freaking incredible. And it's now, I think the fundamental idea, the big promise is the most important thing, but he elaborates on that with how to do a stack that helps you build the perceived value. But the stack, if you've not nailed the big promise, if you've not nailed the unmet need, if you've not nailed the dollars for dimes, I don't think the big stack is going to work so well for you, right? I think you've got to first nail the big promise. I think you've got to nail the dollars for dimes, that. And then the stack is just going to be killer for you. All right, thank you all for joining me today. By the way, I forgot to mention, if if you're just new to me, you can go over here to marlonsnews.com/70K. You can get my free book. It's a report, sort of, but it's a book length, 70 pages. How I sell 70,000 digital products online. And it's free. marlonsnews.com/70K. Thank you all for joining me. Let me just check chat here and see if we had any chat. I think we just had one that said, interesting. I'll put that up. Thank you for that comment that it was interesting. Yes, very much so. Ben Feldman is endlessly interesting. Like you wouldn't, on another video, I'll pull it out and read you some Ben Feldman. I mean, dang. Like that guy could get to the heart of your emotions so fast. I can't even explain it. Like the guy was, you don't even know. The guy, I don't even have words for it. The guy was just incredible. Okay, let me get off of this. I'm sorry about that. Okay, there we go. I'm back. Thank you all for joining me today. I'll be back. Carium, is that right? I'll show. In fact, since you're here, I'll actually do this. I'll just show it to you on screen, then we'll wrap it up. But because it's so now, only like a hardcore marketing person. Like I'm really into marketing. I'm really for people that love marketing and really love or want to love selling. Creative selling. This is back in the 1990s, and then Ben Feldman's creative selling. One of these was written by his manager. One of them was written by him, but they're both incredible. I don't even know if this one's still available. Let me see if is it still available. You should really grab these while they're still available because, he's long forgotten. He passed on way back. It was written in 1987, but I would grab a collectible personally. It's worth it. But he'll really teach you an awful lot about how you create the perception of value for an offer, right? The perception of value. So thank you all for listening. Again, click the bell icon and you can get the notifications. Tell one friend. If you would just tell one friend, our channel will grow, right? If you'll just tell one friend the channel's great, it'll help us out and the channel will grow. Did any of the rest of you have a question or comment before I wrap it up? My wife is downstairs doing Zumba, so I got a little bit of time here. You probably hear her doing the Zumba. She loves Zumba. She's incredible. All right. Do we have any other questions or comments on it? I just leave you then with this. Every problem has a price tag for its solution. That's what Ben Feldman said. He said, if you want to make more money, you just solve a problem with a bigger price tag, and basically you're charging 10% of the value of solving that problem for them. But if it's a really big problem, that's a really freaking big paycheck. So if you're not making enough money or the money you want to make, a large part of it is and I do that. I solve problems that are too small. Like I'll help people quit a job or something. All right, that's great. Yeah, that's beautiful. It's a wonderful thing, right? But there's a lot bigger marketing problems in the world to solve. And sometimes we get stuck into playing too small, right? Because we're solving problems that are really too small when we have the ability, capacity to solve much, much, much bigger problems in the world, And those bigger problems carry a bigger price tag for their solution. And then you get 10% of that price tag. Whatever that price tag is for the solution, you're going to get roughly 10% of that. That's how you make a lot more money. I mean, a lot more money. All right, tell one friend about this channel. Thank you all for being on. I'll see you all tomorrow. Ciao.